truths so powerful that men would rather bury them beneath mountains of distraction than let them breathe in the open air. There are realities so disruptive that to acknowledge them would shake the pillars of nations, and yet truth remains what it is, unbending, undefeated, waiting for the brave to stand upon it. America, the land that was birthed in the cry of freedom and nourished by the blood of sacrifice, now finds herself entangled in shadows that seek not her liberty, but her submission. These shadows do not march under banners or speak in plain tongues. They move in whispers, in corridors unseen, in systems designed to make slaves out of free men while convincing them they are free. This is the essence of what we call the deep state, not a myth, not a conspiracy of fevered minds, but a structure of influence, silent yet suffocating, hidden yet controlling, powerful yet fragile in the face of awakened souls. The first shocking claim is that the deep state thrives by controlling the flow of information. Whoever controls information controls imagination, and whoever controls imagination controls destiny. In every era of tyranny, lies are dressed as truth, and truth is disguised as lies. The citizen who believes he is informed is often the one most deceived, for he has confused noise for knowledge. What the deep state understands is this: if you flood the human mind with endless streams of distraction, with headlines that scream but never explain, with images that inflame but never enlighten, then you create a people who are stirred but not awakened, reactive but not reflective, loud but not free. In such a state, men cannot see beyond the narrative fed to them, and the greatest chains they wear are not on their wrists, but in their thoughts. But remember, truth has a peculiar strength. It may be buried, but it is never dead. To awaken is to reclaim the discipline of thought, to silence the noise, and to let wisdom rise like a lighthouse above stormy seas. The second shocking claim is that the deep state thrives by manufacturing division. No empire of control can last if the people are united in vision and character. And so division is crafted not as an accident, but as a weapon. Divide them by race, and they will not see their common humanity. Divide them by class, and they will not see their shared dignity. Divide them by politics, and they will not see their true oppressor. The deep state whispers, your neighbor is your enemy, and in believing it, you spend your strength fighting those who are not the real threat, while the architects of division grow stronger. History has shown us the pattern. While men argue over the color of the flag, the empire behind the curtain grows its power unnoticed. But the awakened soul sees through this illusion. The awakened soul declares, I will not hate my brother. I will not despise my sister. I will not be a pawn in the game of division. For unity is rebellion, and love is resistance. And in such resistance, the shadow begins to tremble. The third shocking claim is that the deep state feeds upon fear. Fear is the most reliable tool of control ever discovered. It requires no chains, no guards, no armies. A fearful people will police themselves. A fearful people will beg for protection, even at the cost of their own freedom. And so fear is manufactured, magnified, multiplied. A crisis appears, and immediately the solution is offered, a solution that centralizes power, that weakens liberty, that tightens the grip of the unseen hand. The cycle repeats again and again until fear itself becomes the atmosphere of the nation, invisible but ever present, choking the lungs of courage. Yet fear is a liar. Fear cannot create. Fear cannot build. Fear cannot sustain. It only destroys, only divides, only enslaves. And here lies the paradox. The very moment you face fear, its power dissolves. The moment you refuse to bow, its chains shatter, for courage is contagious, and one act of bravery can ignite 1,000 others, spreading like wildfire until the empire of fear collapses beneath its own illusion. The fourth shocking claim is that the deep state corrupts wealth and turns it into a tool of domination. Wealth, in its truest sense, is a servant. It is meant to be the instrument by which vision becomes reality, by which creativity blesses the world, by which families thrive and communities flourish. But in the grip of the deep state, wealth ceases to be a servant and becomes a master. The people are taught to measure success not in virtue, but in vanity, not in character, but in consumption. Debt becomes the invisible shackle, credit the counterfeit of prosperity, greed the gospel preached in every advertisement. And while men chase paper, they forget the deeper riches of wisdom, discipline, and self-mastery. The deep state does not fear millionaires who own possessions. It fears men and women who own themselves, who cannot be bought, who see money as a tool and not a god. For such souls cannot be bribed, and a nation of such souls cannot be controlled. The fifth shocking claim is the most sobering. The deep state seeks not merely to govern bodies, but to manipulate hope itself. Hope is the most powerful force in the human heart, the fire that sustains men through trial, the light that keeps nations alive in the darkest night. But when hope is misdirected, it becomes idolatry. When the people place their hope not in eternal principles, but in temporary personalities, not in truth, but in politics, not in God, but in government, they are ripe for deception. Leaders rise, promising paradise, and the people bow, forgetting that no man can bear the weight of being their savior. This is the ultimate strategy of the deep state, to hijack the sacred, to replace faith with false messiahs, to make men kneel before thrones of dust. And yet, true hope cannot be counterfeited. True hope is found in the transformation of the self, in the discipline of the mind, in the awakening of the soul, in the realization that freedom is not granted by rulers, but claimed by those who dare to live free. So I say to you, awaken. Do not be lulled by their songs. Do not be distracted by their games. Do not be paralyzed by their threats. Think of getting rich not merely in possessions, but in wisdom. Change yourself before you seek to change the world. Live more positively, not as shallow optimism, but as rebellion against despair. Be a better person every day, for the greatest revolution begins not in parliaments, but in hearts. If you would strike against the deep state, if you would resist the dark forces that seek to control America, then begin with yourself. Build your mind into a fortress of truth. Discipline your will until it cannot be bent. Cultivate love that refuses to be divided. Nurture hope that cannot be hijacked. And when enough men and women live this way, the deep state will fall, not with guns or riots, but with the quiet thunder of awakened souls who remember who they are. For no shadow, however vast, can extinguish the light of a single flame. And when the people themselves become that flame, the darkness has no choice but to retreat. Then let us go further, without pause, for the truth demands its full measure. If the deep state is to be exposed, then the soul of the listener must be awakened not only to the shadows without, but to the discipline required within. For what use is it to unmask the architects of manipulation if the man himself remains enslaved to his own fears, his own laziness, his own undirected desires? Freedom without self-mastery is no freedom at all. It is merely chaos dressed in the costume of liberty. The chains within are heavier than the chains without, and the deep state thrives precisely because men refuse to govern themselves. Consider the mind. It is the citadel of your being, the place where wars are fought, and victories decided long before they are seen in the outer world. Yet, how many leave their minds unguarded, like a fortress with open gates? They invite into their thoughts the noise of media, the venom of propaganda, the endless distraction of entertainment, and then they wonder why they feel weak, hopeless, and powerless. The deep state does not need to chain your body if it can occupy your mind. But here is the first great truth of transformation. The mind belongs to you. No one has the right to enter unless you permit them. If you would live free, then bar the gates of your imagination to poison, and open them only to wisdom, to vision, to truth. And yet, guarding the mind requires more than resistance. It requires nourishment. Feed your thoughts with great books, with timeless truths, with conversations that sharpen rather than dull. As C.S. Lewis once warned, we must not be men without chests, clever minds that know everything but believe nothing. The deep state loves such men, brilliant in knowledge but bankrupt in conviction. You must refuse this path. Train your mind not only to think clearly, but to stand firmly. For the man who knows truth and clings to it is a greater threat to tyranny than an army of soldiers. Now, let us speak of attitude. For here lies another battlefield where victory or defeat is determined. The hidden powers seek to cultivate in you an attitude of cynicism, despair, and apathy. They want you to believe that nothing matters, that all leaders are corrupt, that all hope is illusion. For a cynical man does not fight, he shrugs. An apathetic man does not rise, he slumbers. And a despairing man does not build, he destroys. This is why your attitude is not a small matter, but a weapon of war. Choose gratitude, and you rob them of their despair. Choose joy, and you rob them of their fear. Choose courage, and you rob them of their control. Attitude is rebellion when the world tells you to bow your head. Attitude is warfare when it insists on hope. Communication also must be reclaimed. Words are not mere sounds, they are seeds. Every conversation is either planting life or death, truth or deception, unity or division. The deep state thrives on poisonous words, on slogans that inflame rather than enlighten, on gossip that divides rather than unites. If you would rise above, then let your words be chosen with precision. Speak truth even when it costs. Encourage others when the culture is saturated with despair. Refuse to repeat the empty slogans of either side, for repetition without reflection is submission. Communication rooted in love and truth is rebellion against manipulation. Then comes self-discipline, the pillar without which no freedom can stand. It is easy to rail against the corruption of leaders while neglecting the corruption of your own habits. How many complain of tyranny while living as slaves to appetite, to comfort, to laziness? But the deep state is built upon such men. For a nation of undisciplined individuals cannot resist control. They will sell their liberty for a moment of ease. The disciplined man, however, cannot be bought. He wakes with purpose, orders his day with intention, masters his body, commands his appetites, and focuses his energy like a blade. Such a man is untouchable, for he is governed from within. The deep state fears him because he cannot be bribed, cannot be distracted, cannot be enslaved. Mindset, too, is a fortress. It is not enough to reject lies. You must choose to believe in truths greater than your circumstances. A negative mindset creates chains where none exist, while a positive mindset creates possibilities where all others see only walls. Do not mistake positivity for denial. True positivity is not blindness. It is defiance. It sees the darkness and refuses to bow. It feels the weight of fear and still declares courage. It acknowledges division and still chooses unity. Such a mindset is revolutionary, for it cannot be manipulated. Now think of wealth not as the world defines it, but as the higher vision demands it. Wealth is not merely the accumulation of money. It is the abundance of a life well lived. It is character, it is wisdom, it is service, it is the ability to bless others with your overflow. The deep state has corrupted wealth into a game of endless consumption, convincing men that they are poor unless they possess more, always more. But true wealth is measured not by how much you own, but by how much you become. A man of integrity is wealthier than a millionaire of corruption. A woman of discipline is richer than a celebrity of indulgence. The deep state fears such wealth because it cannot be taxed, cannot be stolen, cannot be corrupt. And at last we come to love. Not the shallow love of slogans and politics, but the fierce love that unites across every barrier. Love is the final rebellion, for the deep state thrives on division, and love destroys division. The deep state thrives on hate, and love dissolves hate. The deep state thrives on fear, and love casts out fear. To love your neighbor in an age of suspicion is not weakness, it is revolution. To forgive when vengeance is demanded is not cowardice, it is courage. To serve when the world screams for selfishness is not folly, it is wisdom. So rise with a mind that guards truth, with an attitude that defies despair, with words that speak life, with discipline that masters self, with wealth that cannot be corrupted, with love that cannot be broken. For when enough men and women rise this way, the deep state will collapse under the weight of awakened souls. Its power is an illusion sustained only by your submission. Withdraw your submission, and its walls crumble like sand before the tide. Do not wait for saviors in suits. Do not look to idols in offices. Do not expect freedom to be granted from above. Freedom is claimed from within, and the true revolution begins not in the halls of power, but in the quiet chambers of your own heart. Awaken, and you will see. The deep state has no dominion over a people who have chosen to live as kings of their own souls. Then let the words march on like a river that will not be dammed, for the current of truth must flow until every shadow is swept away. America's struggle is not merely against policies or politicians. It is against the slow erosion of the soul. The deep state, whatever names it takes, does not conquer with a sword but with suggestion. It does not overthrow liberty in a single night. It weakens it with 1,000 whispers, 1,000 compromises, 1,000 distractions. Like termites in a great oak, it hollows from within until the mighty tree collapses, not because of one storm, but because the foundation was already rotten. The shocking truth is that no outside enemy can destroy a nation so long as the hearts of its people remain strong. But when the people surrender discipline, integrity, and vision, they collapse from within, and the hidden hand of manipulation finishes the work with ease. This is why personal transformation is not merely self-help. It is national defense. Every time you sharpen your mind, you strengthen the nation. Every time you master your appetites, you weaken the chains of corruption. Every time you choose principle over pleasure, you wage war against the deep state itself. For a nation is not stronger than its citizens. Leaders rise and fall, systems change, empires collapse. But the character of the people determines whether freedom endures or vanishes. If you would resist tyranny, begin not with protest signs, but with the discipline of your own soul. Think of the daily choices. A man who wastes his hours cannot complain when leaders waste his wealth. A woman who refuses to guard her own thoughts cannot be surprised when systems seek to control her beliefs. A family that chooses entertainment over education should not wonder why their children grow up enslaved to illusion. The deep state thrives on neglected lives, for neglected lives are easy to govern. But a people who govern themselves, who rise early, who discipline their bodies, who train their minds, who nurture their children, in truth, such a people are unconquerable. Do not be deceived. Greatness is never accidental. No one stumbles into prosperity, into discipline, into freedom. It is chosen. It is built. It is guarded. The deep state's greatest fear is not an angry mob. It is a silent man who wakes each day with purpose, who spends his hours building himself into a fortress of character. For such a man does not need permission to succeed. He does not wait for politicians to save him. He does not waste his strength on hate. He builds, he creates, he uplifts, he leads, and in his quiet rebellion, he becomes the seed of a movement. We must understand wealth again in its truest sense. Wealth is not cars and clothes, not palaces and possessions. True wealth is the freedom to live in alignment with your highest calling. True wealth is the discipline to control your time, the wisdom to guide your choices, the generosity to bless others with your abundance. The deep state has sold the lie that wealth is consumption, but consumption is slavery. To live chasing the next thing is to live as a beggar, no matter how full your pocket. But the wealthy soul, the disciplined soul, is free, whether in palace or prison, for no one can take from him what he has become. And so, let us speak of becoming. Each day, you are being shaped either by your own conscious design or by the invisible hands of systems that seek to mold you into compliance. If you drift, you will become their product. If you awaken, you will become your own creation. This is the glory and the terror of human life. You are clay, but you are also the sculptor. The deep state hopes you never realize this, for once you do, their illusions vanish. Once you see that you are not bound to their narratives, their divisions, their manipulations, you begin to rise. You begin to shape yourself into something beyond their control. And a nation of such souls cannot be ruled by shadows. Consider attitude again, not as a personal trait, but as a national force. Nations do not fall when their armies weaken. They fall when their spirits break. Rome did not collapse because enemies stormed the gates. It collapsed because decadence rotted the heart of its people. Attitude is destiny. A people who cultivate gratitude, resilience, and courage will rise from any trial. A people who cultivate entitlement, despair, and division will collapse even in times of abundance. Which will you choose? For your choice does not affect you alone. It ripples through families, communities, generations. One man's courage can inspire thousands. One woman's vision can alter history. Never believe that your attitude is insignificant. It is the spark by which fires are lit. And yet, sparks must become flames. Communication spreads the fire. Speak, then, with courage. Speak, then, with clarity. Refuse to let your words be borrowed from headlines, from slogans, from manipulators. Speak from principle, from truth, from love. Every time you do, you strike a blow against the deep state, for they cannot endure a people who think and speak for themselves. They thrive only on echo chambers, on borrowed voices, on puppets repeating lines written by others. Break the script. Write your own. Declare truths that outlast policies, that transcend politics, that inspire men to rise above division. And above all, remember love. The deepest state is not political, but spiritual. And love is the force that dismantles every agenda of hate. Love your neighbor not because he agrees with you, but because he shares your humanity. Love your children enough to teach them truth, rather than let them be shaped by systems. Love your country not in blind nationalism, but in honest service, in striving to make her live up to her highest ideal. The deep state cannot comprehend love, For love unites where they divide, liberates where they enslave, uplifts where they oppress. Love is the great rebellion. So, rise. Rise in thought, rise in attitude, rise in communication, rise in discipline, rise in wealth rightly understood, rise in love unbreakable. Rise until the very air around you trembles with the presence of awakened souls. For the deep state, however vast its reach, is powerless against a people who have remembered who they are. Shadows flee before the light, and no system, no matter how hidden, can endure when the people themselves become the light. Then let the voice move forward, like thunder rolling over mountains, carrying with it the unbroken rhythm of awakening. For what is at stake is not merely politics, not merely power, but the very soul of a nation and the soul of the men and women who dwell within it. You cannot fight shadows with shadows. You can only fight them with light, and that light must begin within you. The deep state is not only a system of policies and hidden alliances, it is the reflection of human weakness multiplied across institutions. If men are greedy, their greed finds its way into government. If men are fearful, their fear builds policies of control. If men are apathetic, their apathy becomes the silence that allows corruption to flourish. The true battlefield, therefore, is the human heart. If the heart changes, the nation changes. If the individual awakens, the system trembles. So let us speak again of transformation, not as an abstract idea, but as the daily practice of resistance against corruption. Transformation begins with the smallest of choices the moment you decide to rise early, instead of surrender to sloth. The moment you choose to read wisdom, instead of scroll distraction. The moment you discipline your appetite, instead of feeding every impulse. These choices, unseen by cameras and unknown by crowds, are the very acts that topple empires of control. For when men govern themselves, no hidden power can govern them. The deep state is built on weakness, and the greatest rebellion is strength. Attitude becomes the armor. Each day you must choose. Will I walk as a victim of circumstances, or will I walk as a master of my destiny? Victims are easy to rule. Masters are impossible to enslave. This is why the deep state thrives on narratives of despair, why they remind you daily of your limitations, why they magnify every crisis and diminish every possibility. They want you hopeless, because a hopeless man does not resist, but to rise each morning and say, I will not surrender my joy. I will not surrender my courage. I will not surrender my dignity, is to wage war against their entire system. Your attitude becomes your declaration of independence. Communication is the sword. The deep state survives by scripting the words of the people, giving them phrases to chant, enemies to despise, lies to repeat. Break their script, refuse their words. Speak life when they demand hate. Speak unity when they demand division. Speak truth when they demand silence. Words are more dangerous than weapons, for weapons can kill bodies, but words can awaken souls. Every time you speak with conviction, with clarity, with love, you plant seeds of resistance in the hearts of those who hear you, and those seeds may grow into forests that no tyranny can uproot. Self-discipline is the shield. The corrupt system offers you endless distractions, endless comforts, endless temptations. It hopes you will waste your strength on pleasures that do not last, on entertainments that do not build, on indulgences that leave you empty. But the disciplined man is untouchable. He has mastered his appetites, ordered his days, sharpened his will. He does not need the approval of others. He does not need the promises of leaders. He is free because he governs himself. And a nation of such men and women cannot be conquered, for how do you enslave those who have already mastered their own desires? Mindset is the compass. In an age of manipulation, you must choose what to believe. Do not believe the narrative that you are powerless, for that is the greatest lie. Do not believe the narrative that division is inevitable, for that is the most useful illusion. Do not believe the narrative that truth is unknowable, for that is the foundation of despair. Instead, believe in principles that endure beyond time, that freedom is worth sacrifice, that discipline is worth the pain, that love is stronger than hate, that truth will outlast lies. This mindset, held firmly, will guide you through every storm, every deception, every darkness. For the storm rages outside, but the compass points within. Wealth, too, must be redeemed. True wealth is not hoarded in vaults. It is cultivated in souls. The deep state has convinced the people that wealth is material, that prosperity is consumption, that abundance is endless appetite. But real wealth is mastery over time, over mind, over self. It is the ability to create rather than merely consume, to serve rather than merely hoard, to give rather than merely grasp. The truly wealthy man cannot be controlled because his treasure is within him. You cannot bribe a man whose integrity is his goal. You cannot enslave a man whose discipline is his crown. You cannot silence a man whose purpose is his fortune. And love is the final weapon, the one that disarms every scheme. The deep state builds its empire on hate, on suspicion, on division. They need you to despise your neighbor, to distrust your brother, to fight your sister. For as long as you fight each other, you will never fight them. But love dissolves their empire. Love sees through the illusions. Love unites where they divide. Love forgives where they wound. Love builds where they destroy. To love in such an age is not weakness, it is the highest form of strength. It is to declare that you will not be ruled by hate, no matter how loudly it is preached. It is to declare that you will live free in your heart, even if the world around you trembles in fear. And so I call to you, rise. Rise with minds sharpened, with hearts disciplined, with attitudes defiant against despair, with voices that speak truth, with wealth that cannot be corrupted, with love that cannot be broken. Rise until the shadows tremble, until the hidden powers falter, until the deep state finds itself powerless against a people who have remembered their dignity. Rise until the lie is silenced by the chorus of awakened souls declaring that they will no longer bow. For America was not born to kneel. She was born to rise. And as her people rise, the shadows will fall.